Hello, 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 hello.
ভিডিও অন আছে।
No.
ল্যাপটপটা কোথায় রাখবো?
যেখানে ইচ্ছে রাখা তো
ব্যাগে রাখলাম ভাই, ব্যাগটা কাছাড়ে দিইনি।
তুই ঘুমা ভাই, কথা বলিস না, এই জন্য বারণ করলাম আসতে। হ্যালো, 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 হ্যালো। Hello, is my audio is clear? Hello, is my audio clear, guys? Hello. So I hope wait a minute. Okay. So, good morning everyone. Welcome to this crypto trading workshop. First of all, thank you for being here. Okay. Today we are not here to gamble or any fun activity. Today we are here to learn. I will share my experience to you all. I asked many of you about do you know any basics about the trading? You guys said yes, but still I will cover some basic parts of trading. Like let's first understand what is actually trading. Okay, trading simply means buying an asset at a lower price and selling it at higher price. That's why when you long a trade, like whenever any signal goes to telegram, in our telegram you see there are always written long or short. So long is when you enter a trade, you buy anything, like you buy XRP around here 2.0987. okay, so if XRP price goes higher, then you will make profit. If XRP price goes lower, you will make loss. So that is how long works. Okay, so short selling, what is short selling? So short is kind of where you, if market comes downwards, you will make profit. Like in your analysis you see XRP can go to 1.99 and you see there's a clear trend in, or any, based on your own analysis, if you see there's any short side possibility, you take a short, and if the price goes downside, then you make profit. Okay, so that's a short side trade. Okay, so let's quickly jump onto technical analysis. What is technical analysis? Okay, technical analysis is a study of price chart and volume. Okay, in technical analysis we believe one thing: price already reflects everything. That means market news, trader emotions, supply and demand, all of it already shown on the chart. Okay, technical analysis helps us? It helps us identifying the trend. Means if the chart is on uptrend, downtrend or sideways, I will explain to all of you what the trend is and everything in a few minutes. For now, just hear me. Okay, so it helps us identifying the trend. It also helps us find the support and resistance, understand candlestick patterns, and you can also, using technical analysis, you can also use indicators like RSI, MACD, EMA, etc. So, and there's another analysis called what is fundamental analysis. So fundamental analysis is kind of where you buy anything based on their business data, like how they made sales previous year, or how, like in any crypto coin there's always any network or blockchain backing it. Okay, so you study the blockchain, how the blockchain grows and which strategy they are using. You analyze all of those and you buy that particular coin or stock based on that data. Okay, So that is fundamental analysis. So so we mostly cover technical analysis because that's the part of trading. Fundamental analysis is not part of trading. Okay, that's a long-term investment. Anyone who does fundamental analysis, it's a long-term investment. Okay, so let's quickly jump on to the support and resistance. That's a very basic concept of trading and the main funda of trading. So support and resistance will also help you to buy any price at lower and sell at higher. Okay, so what support is? Let's take support as a floor, like you are in a house. So whenever you in a floor or in any ground, you know that's where you can't go any further below. So same for here, like you see, this is the chart I'm showing here. The price goes downward, downwards, and here this is the support. Wait a minute. You see, price comes to that support. Buyers came in here, and price goes upwards. And also after that, also price came in here, also took support and goes upside. So support where buyers are there to defend that zone, defend that particular zone. Okay. So that's what support is. At support, buyer think price is cheap. Like here, if 2.3 and 1.87, obviously 1.87 is more cheaper than 2.3. Okay. Sellers hesitate to sell because already there's price historically took many support. So sellers obviously tried to book profits there. So obviously sellers quits and buyers enters. That's why price takes support there and goes upside. And what is resistance? Resistance is a price level where selling pressure is strong enough to stop price from going higher. Like I can show you. This is the resistance area. You see? So price took support here, then goes upside, and you see here price struggled to go upside further. It took rejection and came back to again support. Okay, it took 1 time, 2 time, 3 time rejection from here, and it came back to again support. And here you can see also buyers enters here. Okay, then it goes against upside. Here it trapped all the sellers, and then it again come back below. So resistance is like a ceiling of a house where you can't go upside further. Okay, you can go if you try too many times to break it. Same as resistance, if a resistance is touched too many times, like 4 or 5 times, it will eventually break. Okay, so sellers resistance is like a ceiling. Okay, whenever price reaches resistance, seller dominate, supply increase, and price either falls down or moves sideways. Like you can see here, price goes to resistance area. It didn't fall immediately, but it goes sideways for a while, then it fall down. Same here in support, price consolidate a bit, smart money enters, and then price goes up. Okay, so you can see wherever price took support, that is a support zone, and wherever price reject and it reject multiple times from there and struggle to break, that's a resistance zone area. So I can draw more support and resistance here. Like you can see, this is also a resistance area. You can see price goes back below, then took support from here. You see multiple times support here, so that's a support easily. And whenever price broke any support, like in here, you see price broke the support, so the support turns into resistance. Whenever price broke any support, it turns into resistance. Always remember this. And for confirmation, you always look for the daily chart, because in small time frame you will see multiple fake outs here, but in daily you will see confirmation. So always look out for daily. You see, but here price also took support, and here also resistance. So that's a simple funda of support and resistance. If anyone have any questions, you can write it in the chat box. I will try to answer. If no, then I will move into next topic. So I hope everyone's support and resistance is clear. So also there's a psychology behind resistance, like whoever took long from here or buys here Esther, it will obviously book profits here, so that's also acted as a resistance. You see, this was also previously a support zone where price broke down and also it turned into a resistance. So okay, you see here also price took support here, support here, support here, so it's already a confirmed demand zone. Whenever a price take 2 or 3 times reaction from a single particular area, it's already a strong support. But the more it will test the support, the weaker the support will be. Most of the time 4th touch or 5th touch will be broke down for sure. Like it touched 1 time, 2 time, 3rd time and 4th time it broke down, then retested, then again down, something like this. And always try to trade in support and resistance. Don't try to trade in middle like here. Always wait for this demand zone or wait for break above this zone. Don't enter in trade in here. Okay, so always open your own charts and try to identify the support and resistance, and let me know if you have any problem or. And always try to draw support and resistance in the first beginning of yours as a box. You went to trading, you go to trading view, then you come here like here, then you will see a rectangle. Always use rectangles for drawing support and resistance at first. Don't use lines because it will give you a more confusion. For using lines, you need a bit more experience in it. Okay. So, how to identify a support? Let's remove everything here. How to identify a support here? So, first support here, you see price took support here, 1 time goes up, 2 time goes up, 3rd time goes up, so it's always a support zone. Okay. Then always look for multiple touches. The zone where price take multiple touches and give us movements, that zone will be a big support zone. Okay. Another support would be this zone. You see 1 time, 2 time, 3rd time, multiple touches, so it's a strong demand zone. Demand means where everyone wants to buy there, that's a demand, and supply where everyone wants to sell or everyone sells there, that's a supply zone. Okay. Also demand means support and supply means resistance. Simple, nothing to complicate it. And always use high time frames for drawing actual strong support and resistance, because in small time frames you will see multiple fake outs, so it's always recommendable to use high time frame. Okay. I will also again repeat the concept when support becomes resistance and resistance becomes support. This is a golden concept, guys. When any support breaks, it often becomes resistance. Like I already show it to you, but still I will show it to you once again. Like it was a strong support, right? it took one support, second touch, third touch, and it always give us a bounce back. Like this time it gives us 20%, next time 16%, and next time for 15%. So obviously that's a strong support zone. Okay, but in this candle, this was a very nasty red candle where price broke down in a single candle and also goes almost 50 to 60% downwards. So after broke down, you see price consolidated here, then tested this zone and it rejected. So in this area, this zone was a support, because after breakdown it took a resistance here. So the main funda is, whenever any support breaks, it becomes a resistance, and whenever any resistance breaks, it often becomes support. Why? Because traders who bought at support and got trapped want to exit, right? Like a trader like you and me came here and saw that the price already reacted one time, two time, and third time from this zone. So we'll obviously put our limits here because it's a strong demand area. What market does, whenever most of the audience thinks the same, market does the opposite. Okay, so what market does, market goes in one candle, took all the, like whoever bought here, their stop loss would be something around this zone. This zone the stop loss was. Okay, so what market did, market goes down in one candle, took all of their stop loss and back to retest the same zone. Okay, so what I said, that traders who bought at support and got trapped want to exit, and who missed breakout want to enter on retest. That is why it called also a role reversal. Okay, I showed you when support breakdown it becomes a resistance. Let me show you when resistance break it also becomes a support. Let me show it to you. Let me open the BTC chart. So in previously, let me use a daily chart. You see, in previously, this zone, this yellow box was a great support for BTC because it broke down. Here it rejected. Okay, so first time BTC went up, it rejected from this zone. So I marked it as a resistance area. Then it broke up, retested and gone up. Then whenever price back below same zone, so it takes support and goes again up. So what I just said few times ago, that whenever any resistance breaks, it becomes a support. Like it was a resistance here. You see, price goes up. It took one time, second time, third time, fourth time, and fifth time resistance. It took fifth time rejection from same area, but this candle broke it. You see, candle close back above. Okay, so what I just said, whenever any resistance break, it becomes a support. So here it break the resistance, took support and goes up, and also after coming down, it bounced from the same area. So you see, and it becomes also important support. One time took support, second time took support, third time took support, fourth time took support. Okay, so that's just what I said few times back. Okay, and also whenever any support breaks, it also becomes a resistance. Like this was a support you all saw earlier. Okay, price broke down, saw rejection. Okay, let me show it to you more example. যাবে। So here it was a support zone. Let me draw it in the rectangle area. So here it is a support zone. It broke up, took support. You see, 1 times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. It took support 4 times. Then in this candle it broke down. Then you see, it becomes resistance. It took it getting rejected from this zone. So that's what I said. That anytimes, always remember, anytimes whenever a support broke down, it becomes a resistance, and whenever any resistance break out, it becomes a support. Okay, until it's a fake out. If you see one candle break out, then in another candle it also closes back below, then it's not a proper breakout. Then you have to wait for the confirmation. Okay, so this is, so let's move on to the next topic. We have the next important topic I wanna share is the Dow theory. Okay, so Dow theory is one of the most oldest and important foundations of technical analysis. Okay, it explains how markets move, trend, and reverse based on price behavior. Okay, like almost all modern technical analysis concepts like trend line, support, resistance, and chart patterns are everything that you see, and also everything you wanna learn is also based on Dow theory. So what Dow theory states, he said that market moves in trends. Like, it doesn't move randomly, it always has a trend. So what kind of trend market has? It has 3 kind of trend. Okay, the first trend is upside, where market continue going to upside, that's the uptrend, and where market continue fall, that's the downtrend. So first trend is uptrend, second trend is downtrend, and another is sideways. So let me just show it to you. So here you can see, this is the uptrend. Like price goes up, then so whenever price rejection from a particular area after going upside, that's our first resistance. Okay, and that's our first high. So HH means higher high. It's a high, it's another high, but this high it's higher than this high. So that's why we call it higher high. You see HH, it means higher high. And what is higher low? You see in an uptrend always a low is higher than previous low. Like this was our this was our previous low. Okay, so you see the next low the market made is higher than the previous low. So so a uptrend is where market makes higher high and higher lows. Okay, and also in downtrend quietly the opposite. I will show it to you, but let's take a look at the uptrend we have. Like here you can see, this was an uptrend. It goes back above from here, then made another low here, then you see another high here, low here, another high here, low here. Okay, so this was a uptrend. I just told you that whenever market makes a higher high and higher lows, that's an uptrend. And never think that market always goes up in a single candle. No, it always goes like zigzag, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, like here, like this zigzag pattern, this. Okay, and it kind of makes a trend line like here. So okay, so that's the uptrend. And what is a downtrend? When price continues to make lower high and lower lows, like here. So that's a downtrend. Whenever market falls in a pattern like lower lows and lower highs, that's a downtrend. Okay. And what is sideways? Whenever market uh, whenever market moves in a small range for couple of days, weeks or months, that's a sideways range. Like, let me show it to you. Like here, it was in a downtrend clearly. BTC, it was in a downtrend, making lower lows, lower highs, another lower lows. But in here, BTC not making any more further down. It moving in a simple range. Let me show it to you. It just moves in this range, like this, and whenever a sideways market appears, always remember that the smart money is accumulating or distributing. Okay, what it means, like price almost came down back from 120k to 90k. Okay, so it also a cheap price, like 120k was way too expensive for lots of people, but 90k is way too cheap. But what retails does that they bought BTC at 120k or took long there, so market just ate them. Okay, and now they want to exist, but market won't go there so easily. Market will make panic them and make sell them early. Okay, and that's where they sells, and whenever any sales appear, also they are need to someone to buy. So that's where the big players and smart money enters, where they silently started to accumulate the prices. Okay, so the market goes in a sideways means that's an accumulation or distribution phase. So here it's either can be accumulation or distribution, we never know, because it still didn't break this range. If price goes from here upside, then it was the accumulation. If price goes back to downside, then it was a simple distribution phase. Okay, so that's a sideways market. So I told you the uptrend, downtrend and sideways. Let me again show it to you how uptrend downtrend works. So in an uptrend, price always makes higher highs and lows, higher highs and lows, like this, higher highs, higher lows. So that's an uptrend. You see, every high is higher than previous high. Okay, and still market in a bullish structure, because market still didn't break this low. So market can also goes back from here and break previous high and continue the uptrend movement. But if when uptrend failed, like when uptrend will invalidate it if market break this low, because this low is the foundation of the continuing uptrend. Okay, so by any chance, like market goes back there and break this low or close below the low, or any simple wick will come. So what indicate is that market broke its trend. There is no more smart money that is accumulating Bitcoin. That's why price goes down, and it can start again lower high and lower low. Like it can continue falling down. Okay, so that was an uptrend, that's a downtrend. I hope everyone is clear. So what I was talking about, it was a Dow theory. So I cleared the concept of trend. Okay, also there is a things called primary trend, secondary trend and minor trend. It's not that important, just you see that is a main primary trend, that is our main trend, right? In long time frame it's making a continuously higher highs and higher lows, and it's going in a upside uptrend. Okay, but if you notice carefully, between this major uptrend there is also a minor trend going on. Like you can see, call it as a simple downtrend, right? Because it's making lower lows, lower highs, so it's a downtrend. So that's whenever any small trend happens in a inside a major trend, that's called a primary trend or a secondary trend. And the major trend, which is in a bigger picture, you see there's just a small time of downtrend, right? But in bigger time frame it's still an uptrend. Price again goes up. Okay, and even if you see in bigger downtrend there is also a small uptrend. Like this is a downtrend, right? You see there's uptrend. So that is what secondary trend is. I hope I'm able to make clear. Yes, Praveen, I'm recording the session, don't worry. Okay. So that is the concept of trend. Let me give it to you another picture of how accumulation distribution, I think it's the most important part of our session. So here you see price was in uptrend, like low, higher lows and higher highs. Okay, so it was a small time of downtrend and broke out and goes up. Okay, it was actually an accumulation. You see, it was accumulation, that was expansion, and that's where retail traders enters, and that's where you see it was in a south sideways for a couple of days, and the smart money and the big investors sold their money. Everyone right here it was a constantly uptrend, so everyone thought market will go further up, but smart money exists, big oil exists. That's why it was a distribution phase. Okay, distribution phase mainly smart money exists, news becomes extremely positive. Like you see in whenever BTC was at 120k, it was logically at a resistance, it was okay, but I'm damn sure that some of you are in a very heavy long positions, because the in Twitter and in every other social media you see every trader that was in that time was bullish. But what market did? Market came back below. People thought it's just a small dip, it will go further up. They kept buying. Market continue going down, and market now at 80k. That's how some retailers were trapped in there, and smart money made profit. Smart money means big players. Okay. Let me show it to you in BTC chart. You will understand. You see. So market was in a big uptrend right here, and it gave us a small type of breakout here. everyone got bullish. Twitter went crazy. Everyone was shouting for 150k, 140k, 136k, blah blah blah. But what market does is it went to 80k, and everyone who longed here are now trapped, and everyone's asset is now gone. That's how retailers got trapped. Okay, so this was basically this particular area. This particular area was basically a distribution phase. Okay, and this particular area is something like accumulation phase, but still it's not proved. If it broke upside, then it will be a accumulation phase, then otherwise it will be another distribution phase or price continues falling in. I am still in believing in upside because price still haven't break this low yet. But if you see the sentiment in other social media platform, everyone is so bearish, and our fear and greed index already at 18 or 21. But you see the uptrend is still intact logically, because it never broke the previous low. So how we think BTC is going down when it's still in an uptrend like this? It's still in uptrend. It can take support from here, then again back here. A simple uptrend continues. But just in case BTC, let's see BTC back here, then rejection from here, and it broke the support, then it's a downtrend confirms, and price will continue falling down. Okay, but for now BTC is still in an uptrend. I hope the concept of trend is very clear, and if you have any problem, you can always write it in the chat box, comment box, or in our Telegram group. I will try to close your doubts. And also a very crucial role plays in trend is volume. You see, let me show it to you in the weekly. You see the volume when it was expanding. Just look at it. You see the amount of volume here. Also this area, it was a pretty good accumulation phase, like this zone. This was a pretty well accumulation phase. It almost lasted for 4 to 6 months here. You also can see the volume here in this area. But everyone was super panic around this zone, around 49k. Everyone thought we are going down, we're done, blah blah. Then what price did? Price moved back up and went to here. So that's what sentiment and smart money does. Okay. Never panic at support, and always be cautious at resistance. Always remember this. Okay, the concept of trend is clear, and next jump into our another topic, and which is trend line. So trend line is kind of support and resistance. You see the supply and demand area. Okay, but you can also see that price is moving something like always. Let me show it to you. Trend line. You see, price is always in certain direction. That's what trend line is. Trend line basically differs a trend. It always show you a trend. Okay, give me 1 minute. So what I just said, a trend line is a straight line drawn on a chart that connects important price points to show the direction of the market. Okay, let me show it to you in the Aave chart. If I remove all the drawings. So always that is, those are wicks of a candle. I hope you all know. But if you see, just a kind of line you can draw like this. What it does, it defines a trend. Okay, something like this. So a trend line is a straight line that drawn on a chart that connects important price points. Like that was a low, that was a low. So you connect all the lows and you see every time market goes to that line, market takes support. Like here, that's our line. It takes support from here, also from here, and also it's coming. It will eventually come here and goes back up. So that's what trend line it is. Trend line mainly helps us answer three critical questions actually. Is the market trending or not? Like, is the market trending upward or downward? Okay, in which direction I should trade? If you see any chart is trending above or trading above your trend line, that means it's still in an uptrend. Okay, because you see that is a trend line. The chart is above it, like it's still taking support from it and it's still interacting that uptrend. Okay, so you will always try to find a long trade in that situation. Okay, and where can price react again? Like you can, that was a support trend line, and let me give it to you another example of what is a resistance trend line. Okay, so resistance trend line basically where price rejects again and again, where price take rejection again and again. You got the theory of resistance, right? The same concept, just in a trend line form. Like you see, it was in a downtrend, like lower lows and lower highs and lower lows, lower highs and lower lows. It was in a downtrend. So what I'm trying to say here is, you connect all the rows here and you see this trend line defines it's in a downtrend, and whenever price going to this trend line, it's taking rejection. Like it goes here, took rejection, then goes against trying to retest that trend line. Okay, again took rejection, again came back below, again trying to test that same line, again took rejection, again it going to react to the same line, and again it took rejection. So that's how trend line differs. So that is a resistance trend line where price is rejecting again and again. Okay, so mainly it's a bearish trend line, you can say, or bearish line. There is a two type of trend line, one is uptrend and one is downtrend line. Uptrend line I already show it to you. Let me show it to you once more. So price was in a downtrend here. You can also draw trend line like this. Like you see, 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, it took support, and also you can draw trend line like this. Okay, that's the resistance trend line where price rejecting again and again, and that's the support trend line where price taking support again and again. Okay, also in here, that's the support trend line where price taking support again and again. So how to trade the trend line? So now the main question is how to trade the trend line. You now see that this is the downtrend. Basically this line, main use case is it defines a trend. It basically it's in downtrend, but here it's a fake out. That's why I already told you that always look it into the daily time frame. In daily time frame, you can see a single candle didn't close above the trend line, so it's still in a downtrend. But in here, whenever you see a candle close, daily candle close or 4-hour candle close above the trend line, and whenever a trend line should be concerned or it should be taken as a strong trend line, whenever price took rejections from a trend line at least 3 times, that's a solid trend line. Like you see in here, price took rejection 1 time, 2 time, 3 time and 4th time. So what it says is, whenever price, the more price rejects or reflects from a particular line or trend line, that's it's a solid trend line, and whenever price break through it's a solid breakout. You can enter after the candle close or a retest above. And also wait for the daily candle close, guys. Okay, like here you see the candle close above, but in here it gives us a fake outs. And also in here, very important, guys, you can identify it's a fake out easily, because in here price just take 2 rejection only. A 2 rejection trend line, never a solid or strengthened trend line. Never trust the breakout of a 2 rejection trend line. You better avoid the trend line or don't trade on it. Okay, always wait for at least 3 to 4 rejection, at least 3 to 4. Okay, and Dow theory also states us that whenever a trend line is taken already 4th time reaction in a downtrend, the 5th time gives us almost the confirmation of breakout. Like you see, this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, but in 5th time it broke out. Okay, so now the question is how to trade a trend line. So first point I will tell, wait for candle close. Wait for the candle close back above the trend line. Okay, so here you can see candle close above the trend line and the breakout is confirmed. And even if you take an entry here like this, try to put your SL around the candle low, that is your entry, and you can put a 1:2 on or 1:3 ratio target. Okay, or even 1:1. And another thing, every time price rejected in past from a particular zone, that's a resistance zone. Like here, I already told you guys that it took, you see, almost 1 time, 2 time, 3 time rejection and 1 time support from. So that's a strong support and resistance zone, because in here price came here and took support and goes upside. Okay, in same case, that's another strong support and resistance zone. Even after breakout from the trend, it again rejecting from the same support and resistance zone. You see, I already told you these things previously. So what can market does here? Market may come here to support this demand zone again. Like that's a demand zone, right? It's a demand zone and it's a demand zone. So market may come to retest this demand zone back up. If it's able to break this high, then it will continue go something like this, and if it doesn't break this, then it will go again downside. Okay, I hope I am able to clear the trend line things. So that's a trend line breakout. Okay, now let's see the breakdown. Because it was a resistance trend line, anything closes above, it's a breakout. Now let's see if a support trend line goes down. Like what I said, that any support trend line where market takes support again and again, that's a support trend line. Okay, let me draw it here. So market took 3 times support from this, but you see in this candle, in this particular candle, if I take it into on our chart, market took 3 times support, and whenever I just said that whenever price already reflects a 3 or 4 time rejection from a particular trend line, never goes for another same reaction on it. I will say just 3 time reaction, but done. No more take same reaction trade on it. Like one time it goes up, second time it goes up, third time it goes up, and fourth time obviously retailers will think that it will go up, but market won't hear the everyone's voice. That's the problem. Market won't give you any money. That's why 1 hour candle closes below, broke down. If you have taken a short trade here, like something like this, and boom. So this is the funda. Okay, here you see it took support 3 times from a single zone. One, two, three, but here it just broke down. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. I will again continue it from the next session. Okay, thank you for everyone who have joined the classes. I am ending it for now today. See you in the next class. Thank you.